What's up, guys? It's been a little while since I put out a video, so I'm back for another one. The reason it's been a while is because I've just been working super hard on all 5 of my websites at the moment. And I'm going to talk to you about that issue today, because the issue that we're going to talk about is multi-sites versus megasites. So how many websites do you want in your portfolio? Do you want one super big website that's going to make you $10,000 a month? Or do you want 5 smaller websites that are all going to make $2,000 a month each to get you that $10,000 goal? I've noticed this has been a really big topic of discussion recently. I got an email off John Dykstra. I'm on his email list, and he was talking about this the other day. Carl Broadbent just came out with a plan to make a mega site, just one really big website. And I've noticed Sean recently has said that he is going for the multi-site route, lots of smaller sites. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to give you my opinion of what I'm doing and show you my plan going forward. My plans change all the time, but this is the plan at the moment. So in this video, I'm going to talk about the pros and cons of having a larger site, the pros and cons of having multiple smaller sites, what I'm doing, and the challenges that I'm facing. So, in my opinion, a larger site is usually a site with more than 250 articles, and a smaller site I would consider having about less than 120 articles. Now, that's totally subjective. Those big multi-sites like Ron Stefanski does, and of course, the one that Carl's planning, they're talking in thousands, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 articles on the one site. For me, wow, that's massive. My biggest site's got about 250 articles on it at the moment, and I consider that to be quite a large site. And then my smaller site I think it's got about 80 articles on it at the moment. But just to give you a bit of a general idea, if I were to build out a smaller website, I would be planning on building it out to around about 120 articles. So here's actually the size of my sites here. So my biggest one, 247 articles on it. I'm not planning on adding too many, maybe 10 or 15 over the next couple of weeks, just some test articles. But mostly that site's just sitting there. Last month it made me 1450. This month I'm going to predict that it's making me a fair bit less. We're into a new quarter at the moment and the ad revenues have dropped a little bit. It's also on the decline at the moment, and I'll show you a picture of that in a minute. My Amazon affiliate site, it's 100% targeted at affiliate revenue. It's about to come into its 12th month, so it's about to hit its 1-year anniversary. Currently got about 80 articles on it, and this month I'm expecting it to make around about 1,000 to 1,100. Made 750 last month, so it's on a really good growth trajectory. And then my newer sites, I've started up 3 sites in the past month. One's got 8 on it, one's got 5 on it, and one has got 0. I'm actually planning on putting the first 5 articles up today or tomorrow. So that's kind of where I'm at the moment, and you can see from there that I'm going for the multi-site model, and I'll show you why. So here's my largest site. It's got about 250 articles on it, and there are a couple of cons, a couple of downsides about this site. The first one is the link profile. When I built this site, it was the first site I built, and I followed the philosophy of guest posting, manual outreach, getting a guest post, having your little guest post author box on the guest post, and getting a link for free, basically, or getting a link in exchange for just writing an article for someone. Nowadays, I consider that to be a risky idea. A guest post like that is so obvious to Google that it's a guest post, and one day, probably not in too far distant future, Google's going to be saying, no, guest posts are clearly black hat. You shouldn't be doing them. We're going to disavow those links or discount those links so that no link juice is passing through. So, the 30 guest posts that I've written there, those guest posts are probably not going to have any value for me too soon in the future if that prediction is correct. Whereas my newer website, I buy the links for it, they're link placements, they look editorially placed, there's nothing tracing me. So my largest site, one of the cons of that current site is it does have a pretty risky link profile, and if I continue to add to that site, maybe in the future, that site's going to be tanked by Google, so I'm not adding too much to it. I think a lot of you might be able to relate to that. Your first website might have a link profile that you're not very happy with. You might have learned some new strategies, and the old strategies you kind of think are a little bit more dodgy, so you want to move on to a fresh site. So there's a pro of going to a multi-site model. You get a fresh slate to start again on things like risk profiles. Another reason that I'm moving on from this site is the traffic is falling a little. I don't know whether it's seasonality or whether or not Google's just kind of slowly tanking me. I do keep getting hit by updates on this site. You can see here that I got hit by an update right at the start of January. I got massively hit by an update in the start of January. I got hit by the update in March. I think there was an update in March and the update in May. I've been hit basically by every bloody update there is. So that's another reason why I'm kind of like, well, do I really want to keep pursuing this site? Because it keeps, bad things keep happening to it. And the last reason that I'm not sure about continuing on with this website is because when it gets so big and it's got 250 different articles on it, sure, I might have some sort of silos or content clusters where, I might be talking about, say, boxing gloves for a while, and then after 30 articles, I might go around and I might talk about yoga pants or something. I'm just making these up, but they're loosely related, so they might be in the sports niche, but they're kind of loosely related. I'm kind of think, well, does Google know what I'm an expert in? Does Google know that I'm an expert in boxing gloves, or does it think I'm an expert in yoga? And maybe if I just had a yoga site and only talked about yoga pants, Google would really, really know that I'm 100% focused on yoga, and it might really help me out with ranking me for yoga. But the bigger the site gets, the more content clusters there are, and the more likelihood there is to confuse the Google algorithm. That is just a hypothesis. I don't have an exact science behind that. It's just a hypothesis that I'm working on, that I'm kind of like, well, maybe I want more focused, smaller sites. But there are some pros of my larger site. One of them is, if I've only got one site, like I did last year, I was laser focused on that one site. I woke up every day and I worked super hard on that one site. At the moment, I'm not too focused because I've got 5 different sites. I've got 5 different projects going on. My head's spinning and I don't know what to start with each day. I don't know whether I should do, Monday site 1, Tuesday site 2. I don't know what I should be doing, and I'm really noticing that there's too much going on and I need more focus. So if you're someone who really needs that focus, maybe a one larger site is better for you. The other reason that I do like my larger site is that it does have decent domain authority. So I feel like newer articles that I put on the site do kind of start going up the Google rankings a little bit quicker than my newer websites. So there's some reasons why I might want to stick with the larger site. So who knows? It's all a gamble. Everyone's making their own decisions just based upon the risk profile that they can see. So cons of having multiple sites. So we're going to talking about my 5 sites at the moment, and these are the sort of cons I'm noticing. The first one I've just mentioned, I am struggling to focus. And I don't know, one of the things is I don't know where I should invest my money. One minute I'm thinking, I'll invest tons of money into site number 4 and try to get it up to 50 articles as fast as possible. And then the next day I'm working on site number 3 and I go, actually, maybe I should be redrawing some of the money that I'm investing in site 4 and putting it in site 3. And, when I change my focus to something else, I change my mind about my master plan. So my focus isn't there as much at the moment. And it's something I'm really working on. One other reason is I'm probably going to have slower growth. So for example, if I was just focused on site number 3 and I'm going to say, look, I'm going to get 80 articles as fast as I can on site number 3, I'll probably hit those 80 articles within 3 months, especially with my writer for site number 3. He and I are working together, building out lots of content clusters on that, and we could probably hit 80 articles really soon. But instead, I'm writing 5 articles for site 3 and then moving into writing 5 articles for site 4 and then writing 5 articles for site 5. So by the end of a month, I'll have only written, 10 or 15 articles for each site. And the last one is a really big one. That last point there, I have to build up a base of links for each site. And that is probably the biggest sort of concern I have at the moment. I have 5 websites, and building a base of links for a website is hard. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of money. So, if I just kept working on site number 1, it's already got a nice base of links, I wouldn't have to invest as much money in links. But every new site I build, in my head, I'm going, well, it's going to be about $2,500 over a year of link building just to get a foundation of links to DA20, just in order to play the game. That's just like the buy-in in order to start ranking really well for, moderately difficult keywords. Okay, what about the pros of having multiple sites? This is what I'm really excited about. The first one is diversified risk, and this was the main reason I decided to go with multiple sites. We saw earlier with my big site, I keep getting hit with Google algorithm updates. I maybe at some point in the future I might get hit with a manual penalty on that site because I have been doing guest posting. If something goes wrong with one site, if something gets really badly hit by a Google algorithm update and you lose 90% of your traffic, do you really want that to be your entire portfolio? Do you really want your entire portfolio to drop by 90% overnight? Personally, I don't. I would rather have 5 websites and maybe one of those websites will get hit by an algo update, but I've still got 4 others to hold me up and keep giving me revenue. So I really, really want to diversify my risk. That's such a huge concern for me at the moment. The next one is topical authority. If I keep, as I said before, add more content clusters to my larger site, is Google really going to see me as a topical authority on that topic? Or maybe I should start one website that's laser focused on one topic, write 100 articles on that topic, saturate a smaller topic, and then move on to the next site. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see what happens. This is my path to $10,000 per month. Remembering I'm about somewhere between $2,000 and $2,500 a month at the moment. My path to $10,000 a month, in my opinion, is going to be grow rapidly with 2 Amazon sites, which is quicker, easier, but higher risk, because who knows, Amazon might just cut its affiliate rates at some point. But in my opinion, it's so much easier to make money from Amazon, especially in the first 12 months of site number 2. I put in way less effort in site number 2, literally 20% of the effort into site number 2 that I put into site number 1. And site number 2 is pretty close to overtaking site number 1 in terms of revenue. It will really soon. And I put in so much less effort because I did Amazon affiliate best X for Y articles. And they make me so much more money per article. It makes sense still to hammer on the Amazon affiliate stuff and just grow that revenue as fast as possible. It may not have a longer term viability though. So once I've grown my Amazon affiliate revenue, I'm going to turn around and reinvest all of that revenue into display ad plays for sites number 4 and 5. So you can see here, I don't think I've shared this on my videos before, but this is a graph that I use on my blog for my monthly income reports where I write a blog write-up each month as well. And this graph shows at the moment that I'm making this was about 2 months ago actually, I was making about 75% of my revenue through display ads and about 25% through Amazon revenue. This orange bit is going to expand big time over the next couple of months, or I'm hoping it is. So over the next 12 months or so, this orange bit's probably going to come up and be about 75% of the revenue, and about 25 will be the blue display ad revenue bit. So I'm going to grow my Amazon revenue as fast as possible, and then once I've hit a decent revenue number, I'm going to reinvest all of that into display ad sites. So I'm going to have a diverse portfolio of both Amazon affiliate sites and display ad sites, but the long run game is to be making most of my money from display ads, because I think that the display ad revenue is always going to be there. Amazon affiliate revenue, who knows? It may not be there in 3 or 4 years. So cash in now while you can and use that money to build up display ad sites. That, in my opinion, that's the way to go. I kind of think of it like Amazon affiliate is those high risk stocks that you buy in mining industry or tech industry or something, or startups where you get good money, but it's really risky. Whereas display ad is like the blue chip stocks that they don't give you the revenue for the bang for your buck that the Amazon affiliate sites will, but they're going to be there in the long term. They're always going to be consistently pushing out those dividends. So, that's kind of my stock analogy. Investing in the risky ones now and then using the profits from those risky ones to invest in the display ads, which are less risk, more long term. So that's my opinion. That's where I'm going. I'm super keen to see how Carl goes, because Carl's going in the opposite direction. And, I'm not saying he's wrong for going in the opposite direction. We all need to make our own decisions. And I really hope Carl is successful. And I really hope he's just successful as me and Sean and John Dykstra, who are going for the multi-site route. So what I think for newbies, I guess most of the time I'm talking to intermediate people on this channel. But if you're new and you're just starting out your first website, my thing would be build out your first website for the first 12 months, get it to $1,000 in revenue before you think about building out your second website. Build out your second website to $1,000 per month, and then move on to your next website, which is exactly what I did. I hit $1,000 a month, move to the next one. Hit $1,000 a month, move to the next one. So that's kind of what I've been doing up until now, when I've decided to make 3 at once, which was, maybe it was a stupid idea. We'll see in the future. So that's it for this video. Again, leave comments below so that YouTube knows that this is a good video and you like the content and it gets ranked higher in the whole YouTube rankings and whatnot. And yeah, just have a chat with me and tell me what you think.